What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Shares in TSMC slumped more than 3% on Friday after the world's largest chipmaker predicted a 10% drop in 2023 sales, and it said that production at its plant in the U.S. would be delayed. The factory in Arizona was supposed to be operational by late 2024, but the company says a shortage of skilled workers means production won't start until 2025. That plant is supposed to make advanced chips for tech giant Apple. TSMC says it will send experts from Taiwan to the U.S. to train local workers. Now, TSMC's woes come as exports from Taiwan fell again in June. That marks 10 straight months of decline. June's exports totaled just over $44 billion. That's a year-on-year drop of almost 25%. The total value of Taiwan's orders for the first half of the year was $268.5 billion, down almost 21% from the year before. That's the steepest drop since 2010. Low global demand for consumer electronics was largely behind the decline. Over half of Taiwan's exports are electronic machinery and equipment. Industry leaders are counting on developments in AI to turn things around. Staff at Somaliland's representative office in Taiwan have denied accusations of labor abuses and sexual harassment. This comes after a woman, referred to as Miss A, made allegations against a former colleague on Thursday.
我持续的拒绝，后来他直接张开双臂把我抱进怀里，并在我耳边说。 我真的很舍不得你离开，我会想你的。当下觉得非常恶心。
Ms. A says this incident happened as she left the office after being wrongfully fired in August last year. She said she reported the matter to Somaliland's representative, Dr. Mohammed Hagi, but that he dismissed it. Ms. A says this was one of many incidents in which her rights were abused at the office. She says Dr. Hagi forced her to pay for his personal expenses and would sometimes check her personal phone. Ms. A says she was dismissed after being accused of helping Dr. Hagi's Philippine housekeeper escape his employ, a woman she says that he mistreated. The allegations have prompted calls for more to be done to ensure the rights of employees at foreign diplomatic missions here in Taiwan.
外交豁免的借口不能够成为伤害国人劳动权益的宝剑。
Taiwanese authorities say they've busted an alleged Chinese spy ring, and at the center of the controversy is a Diablo instructor. Leslie Liao has more.
Spinning an intricate web. Lu Jixian is a renowned Diabolo instructor. He's a well-known performer and has put on shows in various countries, sometimes at the invitation of Taiwan's foreign ministry. But Taiwanese authorities say that Lu has done much more than spin his Diabolo. They've detained him for infiltrating Taiwan's military. Lu is accused of recruiting spies for China. In a bust earlier this week, police and prosecutors searched 25 places, including 6 military facilities. Several people were questioned.
是国防部接获官兵检举以后，采取了损害管控作为，并且通报国安单位共同侦办。
Authorities have now detained 5 people in relation to the case. 4 of them are ex-military. All are being held incommunicado. Taiwan is no stranger to Chinese espionage. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory, though it has never ruled the self-governing democracy. But proximity, shared history, culture, and language with China make Taiwan all the more vulnerable to China's ambitions. Klein Wang and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Russia and China are conducting naval and air exercises in the Sea of Japan, also known as the East Sea. These drills will reportedly involve warships, submarines, and helicopters. Russia's defense ministry says the goal of these exercises is to maintain stability and peace in the Asia-Pacific region. The drills will run until Sunday, and this comes as the two countries are working to build their military cooperation following Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. A university student has died after being hit by a falling air conditioning unit. The woman was struck outside of a new Taipei subway station. The air conditioner weighed about 30 kilograms and fell 17 stories as it was being installed. The victim was rushed to hospital but was declared dead shortly afterwards. Police have detained the worker who was installing the unit, and he could be fined up to $10,000 US.
司法警察这边会初步调查相关的证据，并报请本署检察官相验，并且会指示做相关的搜证，逐步再来厘清。
Cambodia is holding elections for its prime minister on Sunday, but with the most popular opposition party barred from standing, The country's current Prime Minister, Hun Sen, is set to remain in power. Hughes has more.
This is Hun Sen, the Prime Minister of Cambodia. He's a former military commander with the rebel Khmer Rouge communist movement that seized power in a bloody coup in 1975. Hun Sen took power in 1985, and since then he's been cracking down on political opponents, civil society, and the media. It's widely believed he's also grooming his eldest son to eventually take over. Cambodia will go to the polls to vote for its prime minister on Sunday, and Hun Sen is on course for another term as the country's leader. The biggest challenge to his power was in 2013 from the Cambodia National Rescue Party. They won 44% of the vote, while Hun Sen's ruling party won 48%. In that vote, there were accusations of irregularities and mass protests, which ended when security forces opened fire on striking workers. The Cambodia National Rescue Party is now known as the Candlelight Party, which is the most popular opposition group. But for the second election in a row, the opposition is barred from running. The reason? They submitted a photocopy of a document instead of the original.
Now, even the facade of democracy has collapsed in Cambodia. So it is a joke, to refer Cambodia as a democracy. I think we should call a cat a cat. Cambodia is an autocracy, and worse, an autocracy with a political dynasty founded by Mr. Hun Sen.
Hun Sen's grip on power in Cambodia tightened further in June. With threats of boycotting the election, he passed a law, signed by the king, stating that people who don't vote will be barred from holding public office. There are also legal consequences for those encouraging people to boycott or spoil their votes. This is largely aimed at opposition leaders who encouraged these acts in 2018.
It really shows that this is a dictatorship that is playing a democracy game, that there isn't really any real democracy on offer here in these coming elections, or in fact, in the daily life in Cambodia, and that civil and political liberties have been completely and totally restricted by Prime Minister Hun Sen and his government.
Although there are 18 political parties represented on this year's ballot, there is little real opposition to the ruling party, and the winner is on course to be a non-democratic conclusion. John Su and Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Diaries written by former Taiwanese leaders are being returned to the country. That's after a ruling made by courts in California earlier this month. The decision ends a decades-long legal battle between Stanford University, Taiwan's government, and members of the Chiang family. They'll now go to Academia Historica, the Taiwan government's presidential archive organization. Now, these diaries were written by former Taiwan President Chiang Kai-shek and his son Chiang Ching-kuo. The two ruled Taiwan for 4 decades. Their diaries contain vivid details about some of the most important events of the 20th century, and they're part of a 15-box collection of documents. The latest figures show that Taiwanese people are getting married later than ever before. This is all part of a wider shift that's left Taiwan with one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Stash Butler reports.
A Taipei bride-to-be gets ready for her big day. But for sellers of wedding dresses like this, business is tough because fewer Taiwanese are getting married, and when they do, it's much later in life.
从早期大概30-40年前，18岁到25岁，现在的平均结婚年龄，我们公司来讲的话，大概30到35岁。以前很少看到40岁到50岁一婚的新人，但是现在其实还蛮多的。
Taiwan's age of marriage has risen steadily over the last decade or so, from about 30.5 years old in 2010 to over 31.5 last year. That's a new record. Here, marriage comes with the expectation of buying a home and starting a family. And with house prices among the highest in the world, that's a step many young people say they can't afford to take.
金钱方面吧，因为现在花费很多，然后养小孩也是花费越来越高。经济状况跟 物价、房价，对我个人会觉得没有一定的基础，不敢结婚。我身边朋友好像都还没结婚。
The shift to later marriage is linked to another trend: Taiwan's dwindling birth rate. Fertility rates vary hugely around the world, but according to one survey, Taiwan's is the lowest of them all at just over 1 child per woman. That's lower still than its neighbours like South Korea, Singapore, China and Japan. The older people get, the harder it becomes to have children. So to boost fertility among older women, 2 counties started giving out subsidies this year for women to freeze their eggs. But it's slow progress.
112年截至7月17日，总共有68人申请，其中以36岁到40岁为多数，总共有45人申请。
Local authorities are working to help women have children later in life to boost Taiwan's birth rate overall. But as the age of marriage drifts ever northwards, they may well be fighting a losing battle. Eason Chen and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
New footage has emerged of a helicopter that crashed near Taiwan's southern city of Kaohsiung on Tuesday. Take a look. Now, no one was hurt in this accident, but according to reports, the fishing helicopter was trying to return to its home ship, but followed the wrong GPS signal. Its pilots were worried about running out of fuel, so they decided to attempt to land on a nearby vessel, but that ship did not have a landing pad, and the helicopter overturned. The fishing company that operates it is talking with the ship's insurance providers to settle this accident. Divers have spotted a rare oarfish in the waters off Ruifang in northeastern Taiwan. This 2.5-meter-long specimen let the divers swim alongside it for about 15 minutes. Oarfish live deep below the surface, and it's uncommon to see live ones. The divers think this one may have been in shallower waters because of its injuries, which you can clearly see on screen. Experts say the holes in its body may have come from shark bites. It's the very image of a Taiwan summer: shaved ice, sunsets, and buzzing insects. But one of these things is disappearing. Hughes is back with this report.
An increasingly rare sight in Taiwan, the pied patty skimmer. A species of dragonfly known for its distinctive black and white wings and low-pitched buzzing, they could once be seen in Taiwan from north to south. Now there's only one place to find them, a section of riverbanks just outside of Taipei. But even there, they may soon be a distant memory.
你现在踩的这个地方啊，就是以前它本来都还是一个沼泽。前几年的时候，就是被人家倒那个废弃物。那到了废弃物之后，它的水域面积就缩小了。那今年又干旱，那个双眼蜻蜓它就直接在这边这一个点就消失了。
Tall grass near a body of water is the ideal habitat for these dragonflies. But it's also an environment favored by another, much larger animal, the water buffalo.
因为消暑或者是说清除寄生虫的关系，它需要到这些水域里面去滚泥巴浴，那都可能会导致它们的重叠。水牛，如果你一直不管它，又没有天敌的情况下，它的数量一定会变多。但它变多的时候，它就很有可能会去使用到这样的水域环境。
Water buffalo may roam the banks and trample the tall grass, but they cannot take the entire blame for encroaching on the dragonfly's habitat. The main culprit is human activity. Riverside parks around Taipei are regularly trimmed for human leisure use, disrupting ecosystems for plants, insects, and animals.
自行车道左右1米的割槽哈，除此之外，我们目前现在大概也不会有其他的工程。
In a recent field study over the course of a month, scientists only observed a single pied patty skimmer, compared with thousands in previous years. But as Taiwan manages its riverside parks for the pleasure of local residents, the largest and smallest creatures are impacted the most. Jiansu and Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we'll leave you with images of Lebanon's north coast. Looks beautiful now, but local residents are concerned that seafront development will destroy this pristine area. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, please visit us at TaiwanPlus.com.